like to say greetings and the best of salutations. I want to thank a good brother Ronald from the Jump Street, who really confirmed something in regards to this particular post. Just thinking in this wise about presenting something and being uncomfortable with what was presented, due to the fact that you or I can become concerned about how something is presented or received. The struggle of being uncomfortable, a feeling of some physical or even some psychological, possibly pain, or a injury or something that may be something that just bothers you. Could be something that irks you. I wanted to use another word, but something that just irks the hell out of you. Something that just frustrates you. Something that just bothers you in the worst way, And I use the word physical because you can feel it physically. Yet then again, is it something that is imaginary? Something that we have just created in our minds as if it's so, and then we bring it on to ourselves. Yes. We must be careful in our striving for perfection, academically, intellectually, socially, spiritually, religiously, economically, that we come to a point in our lives that we just don't know it all. No one has a monopoly on intelligence. And we must get to a point once again where we become, at peace with that knowing that we just don't know it all, it doesn't put us at a dis-ease. Because a dis-ease is a disease that we just do not know it all. It says the key to social life is family. And those who do not participate in that, they are in misery. It is said that misery enjoys company. What does that tell you? That the inner conversations that we have with ourselves creates our circumstances. So we have to be careful about what we entertain and the company that we keep. So how do we get to a point in our lives when we can be comfortable with ourselves? One of the first things I realized that what we must come into is peace. Something that we come into. And when we are at peace, we're no threat, we're no harm, we're not going to injure, we're not going to endanger one another. Because for the most part, I always say that people are only responding to the extent and the injury or the damage that has been done to his or her humanity. There are those who give powerful presentations, who have done great things, but yet what they have done, we know that there's more that can be done and more to be accomplished. Yet, when we use things such as our finances, our education, our religion, our scientific discoveries, when we use things against each other and not for the betterment of humanity, then we sell and have sold ourselves cheap. In fact, we have disrespected humanity itself. But we must get to a point in our lives where we don't do things in a disrespectful manner. And we know, as some who have been influenced by someone who has the wrong attitude about this creation in which we live in, misused it and abused it and influenced others, that we have devalued and disrespect, demean and degrade the totality of our psychological, emotional well-being. And it affects us mentally, and it makes us uncomfortable, so there is a natural resistance to it. As human beings, we want to come into this peace. As it says in the English book, The Peace Bible, surpass all understanding, not to have a retaliatory spirit. We want to come into this state of happiness. It's the joy that we feel when we are in pursuit of our potential. You can tell when the end times may become, when people place more emphasis on building monumental buildings rather than building each other up. But yet, it is reversed. The monumental building that has been built builds the people up. I'm talking about builds their egos up. We have institutions of higher learnings. Does it teach people to be ethical? Does it teach them the importance of character? Do it teach people the importance of integrity? Do it teach people the importance of living a life of dignity? Confidence, honor, and respect. We must learn to have respect for all life, going beyond race, class, gender, religion, politics, economics, and education. In doing so, any information or knowledge that has been given to us on this plane of existence, it teaches us that we must learn to coexist with one another. And as the words of Dr. King said, that we, if not, we will perish as fools. That's why it says it's never put a fool in position of power. People start thinking that's the model that to follow. You never argue with a fool, because people on the outside, it's hard to distinguish which one is the fool. So we must not participate in fostering foolishness. We have gotten to a point that's become very debilitating, that when we participate in activity that will disrespect and bring us down, that we think that that's just a part of life, by means of exploiting others, underhanding, undermining, undervaluing. In doing so, you underestimate the pureness of the heart. You underestimate the pureness of the spiritual being that is in this human form. You underestimate the soul, and the soul will send a requisition to the mind and say, I'm not satisfied. And this is what I'm hearing what's happening now in the world today, and always has happened. And that which we call God, it says, I'm not satisfied. That I have gave you life. I have given you the breath to breathe in your lungs, in your body, in the air to live in, and made this world a place where it can be your habitat, that it becomes inhabitable for you. That's what we call the 99 attributes. Certain amount of oxygen, hydrogen, whatever it is that makes this universe, that makes this plane of existence inhabitable. But yet we have made a mockery of time. We have made a mockery of one another. When we look at even in the political field, as I may use this term, and how we always coming at one individual, and ain't the one individual. This has been taking place before an individual has got it. It is a system, it is an attitude that one has. And all it does, it doesn't bring closure to anything. It doesn't bring us closer together. All it does is brings us farther apart. Who would be the example? What community would be the model? And what would bring us together? That we will learn to live together in peace and harmony and love and respect for one another, and live as decent human beings in a society and a world that's been given to us by the most decent and the most long-suffering being on the plane of this existence, and that which we call God. I tell you today, there's not much fanfare. Who needs it? What we must learn and what we need is proper guidance. There are texts that came down from generations that came about to show us the way. But that which shows us the way to coexist and live in harmony with one another is creation itself. You look at the cosmos, they all live in harmony, one with another. And in those planets, as they call it, it has a magnetic force that will not allow anything to inhabit it that will contaminate it. That will corrupt it. That will bring it down. Such a force, such a presence, words cannot explain the gratefulness and the honor and the thankfulness of the air that I breathe, each breath that I take. Shamans say that fight for your last breath. It's a fight. There are many who have lost loved ones and their physical presence is no longer here. And we long just to see their smile, to touch them, to have a conversation with them. Yet their voice, their spirit, speaks through you. And if you can hear their voice, it's possibly saying, learn to love yourself. Learn to reason. Understand yourself. Love yourself. Love the one that you love even better. Appreciate the life that you're living. Appreciate and honor and respect all that has been created. Honor and appreciate with respect the rest of the family members that are directly from you. Learn to honor and appreciate the extended family members with honor and dignity. Reason with ourselves is the faculty that has been given to human beings. Just to learn how to reason and get along one with another. I'm not naive to think that may not be able to get along with all people and everyone. But learn to get along primarily with yourself. How can you possibly change the behavior of another? But first, we must learn to change the behavior of ourselves. And our feelings must understand, and that will become credible. And our thoughts must understand the tolerance of that, and that deals with one's aspirations. Our attitude makes us coherent. Our language, our communication, that makes us confident. And our actions, that makes us to become a solid, decent human being. CH Mission is the Cash App. Give to the gift for social literacy. Common Humanity Mission 501c3, promoters of the value of self-worth, communicating with precision a clearer image to the world. Our mandate is to cultivate the potential of knowledge that is in us all. Until the next time, talk to you.